What if instead of carrying around an umbrella, you carried around a beam of light so powerful it could stop the rain before it ever touched you? Imagine walking down the street in a thunderstorm. No umbrella, no raincoat, just a dome of invisible laser fire vaporizing every droplet before it came within 10 feet of you. On the surface, it sounds like something out of a futuristic sci-fi movie. But let's slow down for a second and really think about what this would mean. The first problem with this idea is energy. To boil a liter of water into vapor takes about 2.6 megajoules of energy, and a decent rainstorm can dump about half an inch of rain per hour. Multiply those numbers and you end up needing about 9 kilowatts of power for every single square meter of protection. That's nearly 10 times more power than the sun delivers to Earth's surface. In other words, your laser umbrella would need to shine brighter and harder than the sun itself, just to keep a little patch of you dry. And even if you had that much energy, the physics of water don't make this easy. Heating water to boiling only takes about 10% of the effort. The other 90% goes into actually turning liquid water into vapor. That means instead of just warming raindrops, you'd be filling the air around you with huge clouds of hot steam. Basically, your futuristic umbrella would turn into a personal, human-sized autoclave, which is really just a giant sterilization chamber. That doesn't sound like a place you'd want to stand for very long. But it gets worse. Lasers don't neatly vaporize raindrops. When a droplet gets hit, most of the time it doesn't vanish into thin air. It shatters into smaller droplets. Scientists who've studied this process have found that unless you deliver the energy extremely fast and precisely, the water just splatters. So not only would you still get wet, but now the rain would be turned into a fine mist that sticks to your skin and clothes even more. The dream of walking through a storm completely dry would actually leave you surrounded by clouds of laser-made drizzle. Let's say we somehow solve that problem. Next, we'd have to aim. Raindrops fall fast, and there are thousands of them falling around. The problem there is that in the rain, your line of sight still extends hundreds of meters. That means most of the time your laser beam wouldn't even hit a drop. And unless you were trying to light up the entire neighborhood with blinding rays of energy, firing powerful lasers in every direction is a recipe for chaos and danger. So where does that leave us? The paradox is this. While we dream of high-tech solutions that look like something out of science fiction, sometimes the low-tech answer, the simple umbrella, is actually the smartest tool we have. The umbrella is light, portable, safe, and it doesn't require you to carry a power plant around on your back. In a way, the humble umbrella is already a masterpiece of human design. But here's the real reflection. Why do we even look for ideas like a laser umbrella in the first place? Maybe it's because we crave control over our environment. We don't like being at the mercy of nature, so we dream of tools that could bend the world to our will. Yet the irony is that in trying to control everything, we sometimes create problems far worse than the ones we set out to solve. So maybe the next time you're caught in the rain, instead of wishing for a laser to blast the sky above you, you could pause and notice something. The sound of raindrops on your umbrella. The way the world slows down when streets glisten wet. The truth that sometimes, life's simplest inconveniences are also its hidden gifts. Here's a challenge for the next 24 hours. The next time it rains, don't just rush to cover yourself. Step outside for a moment, let a few drops fall on your skin and ask yourself, why am I always in such a hurry to block out nature? Maybe the real experiment isn't to vaporize the rain, but to learn how to walk with it. If you agree with this idea, leave a 1 in the comments. If you think the laser umbrella is still worth building, drop a 0. And if you'd rather just enjoy the rain, maybe subscribe so you'll remember to come back here the next time the world makes you wonder. Because at the end of the day, an umbrella made of light might never exist, but the way